morning. Um, so to me, this is an incredible day of all of the announcements and opportunities that I get to be a part of. This is probably one of the best infrastructure project that is well overdue, not just for Newark, but the entire state of New Jersey. I want to applaud this administration and its foresight and understanding that Penn Station is a incredible asset for the entire state of New Jersey, and needs the investment not only to maintain what it has, but to develop it into a world-class train and rail station that is number one here for commerce, job development, economic growth, all around. And so this is an exciting day for the residents of not just the city of Newark, but the entire state of New Jersey. And I have the honor of allowing and bringing on Governor Murphy to make remarks. I just want to say thank you on behalf of not just the 100,000 residents of this city, but the millions of residents across the state of New Jersey, people who use this Penn Station over and over again every week, every month, every year, to get back and forth to work, to develop projects throughout this region, to move commerce back and forth. So we thank you. We believe that this is important, incredibly important for the growth of this state, particularly after this pandemic. And God knows we're about ready to get out of this thing. And when we do, Penn Station will be moving forward along with the state of New Jersey. So without further ado, I'd like to bring my governor up, Governor Phil Murphy.
Please join me one more time in giving a shout out for an extraordinary leader, an extraordinary mayor, Mayor Ras J. Baraka. Mayor, thank you for everything you do, and thank you for helping us get to today specifically. I've got remarks, I promise you, given the weather, I'll read them as fast as I can. Again, thank you, Mayor Baraka, for your tremendous welcome as always, and your leadership of the historic city, the extraordinary city of Newark. And while we're here at this historic crossroads, we're all here to begin moving to a better future for this city. I'm honored, in addition to the mayor, to be joined today by my partner in government, the one and only Newark's own. She grew up here. She remains as committed to its success as anyone in this state. Please help me welcome Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver. I just told her privately, I love the shoes. I just want to, it's making it shine on a day that otherwise is a little bit dreary. We got the president and CEO of NJ Transit to my left, Kevin Corbett. Kevin, thank you for being here and your leadership. And a guy back to my right, another great friend and leader, General Chairman of Smart TD Local 60, a labor leader here representing brothers and sisters of labor. Our friend Jerome Johnson's in the house. Jerome, bless you. And I believe we will have the honor of being joined by Senator Teresa Ruiz, Newark's own, I believe still in a few minutes. I also want to thank, while this is a state and city and NJ Transit moment, it's supported actively by the county, and the president of the county commissioners, soon to be county commissioners, Brendan Gill, is right before me. Brendan, to you and your fellow commissioners, to Joe DiVincenzo, the county executive, and the whole team, thank you. Before I jump in for a couple of minutes on why we're here today, another 5,820 positive COVID cases, 90 losses of blessed lives, 3,481 people in our hospitals, of whom 371 are new hospitalizations, spot positivity just under 11%. And as Mayor Baraka knows this all too well, Essex County, and Newark in particular, has paid a huge price of those numbers today. Another 444 cases from Essex County alone. That's over 39,000 cases in this county since the beginning. Sadly, of the losses of life, 10 of those are from Essex County. And by the way, over 2,000 folks in this county have lost their lives. Please keep them all in your prayers. For many Americans, their introduction to New Jersey, frankly, takes place in one of two places: Newark Liberty International Airport, or right here, Newark Penn Station. And for the tens and tens of thousands of daily commuters, this station plays a central role in their life. Down Route 21, the Port Authority is re-envisioning and reconstructing Newark Liberty for the 21st century. And here today, we are proud to announce a new beginning for this historic building. a process of reimagination and reinvigoration that will restore this station to its full grandeur and in the process make it a symbol of what this city not only aims to be, but in fact is. The future of Newark's economy, like the economic future of our state, rides in so many ways on the rails that run through here and on the buses that enter and leave this station. We're only a short ride to the financial capital of the world, whether on NJ Transit or on PATH. And from here, business leaders can exit right into a downtown that boasts one of the world's leading connective technology networks, affordable rents, walkable communities, and so much more. And once we look beyond the pandemic, and that day will come, I believe it will come sooner than later, and we prepare for the day when people begin funneling their way back into Newark, Penn to head to work or to school, on their way to an Amtrak destination miles away, or a Devils game just up the block, or for a dinner out in the Ironbound to my left, or on Broad Street and a show at NJ Pack, this station must drip with the pride that this city exudes. For our economic future, as we continue our work to make Newark a true hub of innovation and world-class business in its own right, this station will speak to this pride and to that future vision. We heard about this need from businesses, developers, large and small, from Amazon on down, that attracting talent and customers begins with a more attractive, more welcoming, a more inspired Newark Penn Station. So we are going to make the ride into Newark better, and we're going to make the draw of this historic station and even more historic city unmistakable. I'm proud to announce that work is going to begin immediately on $30 million in renovations and restorations to Newark Penn Station, paid for through state funds. From fully restoring the classic benches in the historic waiting room and platform enclosures to their original shine, to brighter and more efficient LED lighting throughout the station, to completely renovated bathrooms, to restored and fixed platform doors, to improved HVAC and air handling, and to fresh paint and restored tile work. The interior of this historic station will be brought back to life to mirror the diverse and bustling city that awaits outside these doors. And the limestone exterior of this building will be given a complete washing too, for good measure, to bring back its architecturally significant facade. In the bus lanes, new lighting and improved drainage will improve the rider experience, and throughout, improved directional and wayfinding signage and new customer experience ambassadors will make sense of this station's labyrinth of platforms and hallways. These are improvements that will start in the here and now and will mirror the rejuvenation of our state as we prepare for the end of the pandemic. But beyond these improvements, we are embarking on what will be a $160 million re-envisioning of how this station serves as a gateway to this city. And the more funding we can find, the more we can do. And that goes not just for the station, but for the community and the residents who live around it. If you look around the neighborhoods, just outside of this park and these doors behind me, you see streets that are being brought back to life through thoughtful historic preservation and adaptive reuse. The Gateway Center itself is undergoing extensive renovations to make it a place more reflective of 21st century business. What was once a parking lot is now Marbury Park, and what was once an empty warehouse next door is a welcoming place for commerce. Global companies like Mars and Audible are now calling this city home, joining the stalwarts like Prudential, PSE&G, and Panasonic that never wavered in their belief in the city's promise. We want many others to join them. We want them to enter the city through this station and realize that their future belongs right here within walking distance of this proud building. We're all standing up here today because this future can only be brought about by partnership. Partnership between the state and the city, between NJ Transit and the men and women of labor, and all of us working together side by side to make something better for riders and businesses and for this great community. We're here today because we believe, Mayor, in you and in Newark. We're here today because we know that this historic station must not just be a symbol of a past golden age, but the harbinger of the next one to come. And I thank everyone here for their partnership and support. It is now my pleasure to introduce my partner in government, the singular, the one and only Lieutenant Governor of New Jersey and a proud daughter of Newark, Sheila Oliver.
Thanks, Governor. Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Governor Murphy and Mayor Baraka. It's an honor to be here with all of you today in my hometown to share in the joy and excitement of this tremendous investment in the city. Most of you know that I'm a Jersey girl, but many don't know that Newark is the place I first called home. This city is near and dear to me, and I know that Mayor Baraka and many of you here today also share in that sentiment and love for this city. Newark has seen many changes over the decades, and most recently, a revitalization of some of its most distressed neighborhoods. The Department of Community Affairs and its affiliates have made it our mission to work with the City of Newark to help restore neglected communities and neighborhoods to once again become the vibrant places we knew them to be. But there is no more iconic or well-traversed landmark in this city than Newark Penn Station. When we think about commuter services in New Jersey, this is the center of that universe. With over 50,000 commuters passing through these corridors every day, it is the 7th busiest rail station to be found in the nation, 7th in the nation. And it has served as the epicenter of transportation for the state of New Jersey for decades. And it is long past due that we have paid this historic station some attention with critical repairs and upgrades that are needed. Today, I am so pleased that Governor Murphy and New Jersey Transit are making this tremendous investment in our state's infrastructure. You know, there are some people all around the country who collect replica of trains. There are others that have written histories of iconic train stations when rail ruled in the United States. This station is one of those iconic historical stations. So much so that there is a group in our community that is working tirelessly to be able to raise money to erect a statue of A. Philip Randolph somewhere in the midst of this station. Many of you may know that A. Philip Randolph was the founder of the Pullman Porter organization. And there was a period of time when black men all around this country had jobs as Pullman porters. A. Philip Randolph led that labor movement so that they would get livable wages, good benefits, and I can think of no place other than the city of Newark as we see this station transformed than to see a statue erected of A. Philip Randolph. We know that infrastructure improves lives, the lives of the pedestrians, the commuters, the taxi and the bus riders, and private vehicles. All of that enhances the customer service. The repairs and renovations and capital improvements that the governor made reference to, especially the $100 million Mulberry Commons pedestrian bridge that will provide a beautiful link between Penn Station, downtown Newark, and the Iron Board. These are not ironbound. These are not just quick fixes. These are long-term investments that will really generate the type of economic turnaround this area needs in order to thrive, and to ultimately develop a station that isn't just strictly commuter-focused, but it is also focused on becoming a destination that people will choose to come to even when they're not commuting for dining, for shopping, and for other services. I want to thank Governor Murphy and the leadership here today who have advocated for this investment. It's going to make a big difference in the lives of New Jersey residents and the surrounding neighborhoods and communities. You know, as the governor spoke to, emerge out of this cycle of the pandemic, we will see economic activity in all of our centers across the state. And the city of Newark will lead the way in that economic transformation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. Amen to all of that. Philip Randolph, Jerome and I and the mayor were going back and forth. That'd be a really nice, appropriate touch. Terry Tucker, nice to see you. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Next up, please help me welcome the Executive Director and CEO of NJ Transit, Kevin Corbett. Kevin?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And first, I want to thank the governor for, Governor, for your leadership and support for New Jersey Transit. The last few years has just been phenomenal, and it's really nice that we're now in a position to start paying dividends. Certainly, also like to thank our NJ DOT Commissioner and my board chair, Diane Gutierrez-Gachetti. She can't be here today, but her support and leadership have been integral to our re-envisioning Newark Penn Station. Obviously, Lieutenant Governor, your hometown. It's a pleasure to have you here, and Senator is glad you could join us as well. Mayor, of course, as he knows, I cut through the town, whether it be on bus, light rail, and he keeps me on my toes all the time, and it's a great relationship we have with you and your staff, and we certainly value that. It is certainly an exciting time for Newark. We see it. When I'm coming over from Newark Broad Street in the morning, whether it be by light rail, bus, or just walking, you've seen it the last few years, tremendous energy coming by, and it's very exciting. This station, though, should be a key part of it, as the governor said, being a gateway to the city. And this station, which opened in 1935, is indeed one of the busiest and most historic, but also serves as a vital multimodal transportation hub for our region. In addition to New Jersey Transit Rail, we have our bus, our light rail service. Station also serves, obviously, Amtrak path into Lower Manhattan, and Greyhound bus as well out front. We've long recognized the need for significant capital upgrades, and we'll be executing out of the capital plan that focuses on the infrastructure as well as improving the customer experience. These projects align perfectly with our recently released first ever 10-year strategic plan, NJT 2030, and our 5-year capital plan, which I was proud to unveil with the governor back in June. Thanks to the significant investments and commitment from the state, we're able to start building on the work being performed currently to ultimately restore this station to its rightful place as one of the crown jewels in New Jersey. Right now, as we speak, we're repairing the ceilings, honing the terrazzo floors, replacing bathroom fixtures, and upgrading the lighting in passenger corridors and concourses. We'll soon be working on a historic tile installation, replacing cracked tiles in stairways and along escalators. And I'd also like to take a moment here right now to thank and acknowledge our Newark Penn Station crew here, who have been doing an extraordinary job of coordinating these efforts on the ground to accomplish this initial work, while also maintaining our aggressive station cleaning and disinfecting protocols to keep customers and our employees safe from the spread of COVID-19 at the same time. We have much more extensive work planned, including but not limited to, as the governor touched on some of these, the restoration of the grand waiting hall, the renewed escalators and expanded elevators to enhance customer flow and improve accessibility for customers with disabilities in particular, and particularly with improved signage, platform renewals and restoration programs, beginning with Platform D, better known to customers as Track 3 and 4, and improved customer signage, announcement systems, and digital information displays throughout the system. For our customers, investing in transit means more reliable service, good-looking modern station, and a far more pleasant daily commuting experience. And for New Jersey, it means jobs and economic activity that supports the state's economic recovery as we come out of the pandemic. And it certainly, as the governor talked about, this being a gateway, if we look right across and see Mars Wrigley, I know that in a matter of months we will be back to, and this being a great gateway for Newark and for the state, for so many, is something we're going to be very proud of, and you'll be seeing this work unfold immediately, but particularly over the next 3 years as we upgrade both the visible things as well as the core infrastructure behind. So with that, I'd like to thank the governor and everyone here for joining us, and I look forward to any follow-up questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, for your leadership and for the work on behalf of so many at NJ Transit. This is the quintessential organized labor state. We always have been and we always will be. We rise and fall with our brothers and sisters in labor. And I mentioned him earlier. Please help me welcome a great labor leader and friend representing NJ Smart, Jerome Johnson, its boss.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor Murphy. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Oliver. Thank you, Kevin. And of course, thank you, Mayor Baraka, for allowing me to be here today, say a few words. I do want to acknowledge my brother, Orlando Riley, State Chairman of the ATU, for being here as well. And Lieutenant Governor, I would like to say thank you for bringing up A. Philip Randolph, because without A. Philip Randolph, myself, and Orlando, we wouldn't be here today as the labor leaders. So thank you for that. This is a 90-year-old rail station, and this further shows the commitment that this governor has to addressing infrastructure issues in the state of New Jersey. He has committed himself to the Porter Bridge North, Porter Bridge South, which is just going to open up the railways for more commuters once we get past this pandemic. I want to say thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Can you hear me? Oh, I apologize. You want me to start over? All right. Yeah, it's too cold, no doubt. I want to thank Governor Murphy for doing all that he has been doing to try to flatten this curve during this pandemic. We will beat this, and we will get back to a better stage once this is over. But Newark Penn Station, with the governor's leadership, along with the mayor, helping revitalize the Newark Renaissance, is just another part of the conclusion of making this a better place. We need the Gateway Tunnel. We can't forget that. So this is one of the governor's major topics, and the Porter Bridge and the Newark Rail system right here is just going to enhance that and make it a better place for the commuters in New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, our union members to travel on this rail system. And lastly, I would like to say, this Newark Penn Station construction is going to bring union jobs here for the people of the Newark, for the people of the state of New Jersey, and for all labor who represent the middle class. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerome, and thank you for your leadership, and amen to the brothers and sisters in SMART and in labor up and down our state. Last but not least, we say this a lot, and it's true. It takes a village. It takes a great mayor and leadership here. It takes the state government, it takes the county government, and it sure as heck it takes NJ Transit and brothers and sisters in labor. But you also need at every step of the way. If you want a strong response to a challenge, you need legislative leadership. And there's none better than Newark's own. Please help me welcome Senator Teresa Ruiz.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the greatest city in the greatest district in the state, and that's our hometown, the city of Newark. For all of us who call Newark our home, we've always known the treasure of Penn Station. If you get an opportunity later to go in, to look at the glass, to look at the carved ceilings, to look at the infrastructure, and then go beyond that and recognize that this is a gateway for people to get to work and to play. Before the pandemic, I will say that I was down here 2 to 3 times a week, and in 16 minutes you could get right into Manhattan and then come right back home with the ease. And I am grateful for the authority and transit employees, from the public safety personnel down to the individuals who are cleaning these facilities to keep us safe. And we are grateful for the work that you continue to do at this critical juncture as an essential employee. This is the busiest national hub in the country. It is an integral part of the Northeast Corridor. It is a catalyst for economic development for the city, but for the entire state. It is an asset to the Garden State as much as it is an asset to Essex County and the city of Newark. So this great infusion of financial funding for infrastructure improvements. I commend and I'm grateful and thankful to the governor and his administration for recognizing the need and for putting the power behind the funding to secure these dollars to improve this facility. It will bring jobs during its current phase network, but beyond that point for decades to come, the improvements here will welcome individuals from all over the world, whether they're stopping to connect to go to another state or if they're coming to visit the great city. The improvements will be forever in perpetuity a positive impact to Essex County and the Garden State. To our mayor, who like myself is raising his family here, born and raised, and has committed himself to public service, we know that Newark has extraordinary potential. We know that Newark, when our parents selected the city to raise their families, understood the viability of its people, the infrastructure, and the potential that we've always had. Now everybody is beginning to recognize that, and we welcome that opportunity to say, here we are, and we welcome you. As the state sponsor for the legislation that will ultimately bring the funding resources to the new Mulberry Park Extension Park, I am honored and grateful that this is not just one part. This is a variable in the equation of how we're growing Newark in a capacity that will be recognized on a national level. Oh, the places we will go, I tell my daughter all the time. Oh, the places we will go, and I will tell you that the destination will always start in Newark. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Well said, well said. You know, one of the fallouts of the pandemic is we're doing this outside. So I want to thank our distinguished guests before I take a couple of questions and say I will not be offended whatsoever if you choose to walk inside while I'm taking a couple of questions. But Mayor Ras Baraka, bless you. Jerome Johnson, to you and your brothers and sisters in labor. Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver, Senator Teresa Ruiz, CEO Kevin Corbett. I'll need you to stick around because you may get a question.